Hi everybody. So I know we said that we were going to do these every Saturday, but I took a break yesterday to hang out with my family and go on a hike. So I decided to do one today, but do something a little bit different. I want to give you guys a challenge. So I have this blank canvas here, and I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to teach you how to paint a cactus or several, so cacti. And I want to challenge you to make a landscape painting of your very own with cacti in it. So if you do sunset or sunrise, dusk, dawn, or if you just want to do a cactus painting with just standalone cactus, you can do that too. But I want you to use your imagination with the tools that I've given you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to paint a cactus, a couple of them. I'm going to show you some different ways. So it's not going to be a really long video. And I'm just going to show you some different ways to paint them. And then I'm going to let you go all on your own. And then I want everybody to send me their pictures via Facebook, Instagram, tag me, email me. I don't care. I just want to see everybody's finished product, because me just walking you through a painting is not, I'm teaching you, yes, I'm teaching you technique, but I want to see what you can do with the techniques I've been teaching you. So don't get frustrated if, you know, it's not turning out the way you want at first. You know, it took me a long time, and actually, I made a really ugly cactus earlier today. So, you know, it takes practice, so don't get frustrated with it. But the first one I'm going to teach you is, first of all, you'll need green. You'll need green, yellow, raw sienna, a dark brown, and maybe like a reddish brown. So I'll do that. Sorry, my palette was empty. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, I have my round brush, and I'll create my first one, which is your basic cactus that you'd see in the desert. So what I do is I just start with a guideline. See how I'm holding my pinky here? Hold that there for leverage. It's kind of going to be hard to make a straight line because I'm sitting on the floor while I do this. See how I drag along here. And that's my center line for my cactus. And then I want to put the little arms on it. So I'll come over here and I'll make an arm. These are just the center lines. These are just your guidelines pretty much. And this one's going to be a little longer, so it's going to start at the top here, and it's going to come down here. Okay, you can make, they have all different amounts on them. So you can make 3, you can make 4, you can make 5. But once you have your center lines on there, I'm just going to take some green and yellow on my brush, and I'm going to come out from this center line. I'm going to do a little curve out here and come down. Don't worry about running out of paint. We can always fill it in later. You just want to get your basic line on there. Okay, that's one side of it, and then you'll come on this side. Curve. I'm still using my pinky for leverage. And once I have that, I just take my green and my yellow and I fill it in. We'll put some other colors in there too. I just want you to have your base coat on there. It's what we call an undercoat. Okay. Sorry if it's noisy. I have teenagers and they are eating everything in sight and they're bored. I hope everybody else's families are doing well and surviving. Just went food shopping today and I'm pretty sure most of it's already gone. They eat everything in sight. So this is the middle of our cactus. Now we need our little arms. Same thing. You just come around here on a curve and fill it in. Remember what I've told you? The more pressure you put on the brush, the thicker line you're going to get. So less pressure, thinner line. I want these pretty thick. And there's one arm. Let's do the other arm. And this is minus detail. So I haven't put any detail. We still need some lines of where it's like the creases where the why can't I think today? Needles. What are they called on a cactus? I can't remember. Maybe that's what they're called. Where they grow out of. So just do that part here. See how I'm using both sides of my brush? I'm utilizing all that paint that I have on there. Clean up any edges. And there you have another arm. So that's one type of cactus you can do. All these ones that I'm going to teach you are all part of the cacti family, succulents, if you will. So I'm going to show them all to you, and then I'll go ahead and put the detail in so you can see how I do that. So another one we could do is, sorry, let me move that down a little so you can see. All right. When you create a landscape with a cactus painting, if you know, remember, you can always, if you don't like the way something looks, if like I don't like the way the bottom of this trunk looks, I can always put flowers in front of it or whatever I want to do. It doesn't have to just be standalone. You can put some tumbleweed in front of it. So just think outside the box a little bit on that. All right, another cactus here we can do is make big upside down U and just fill it in with some yellow and some green. You can also use raw sienna, which is a very tan type of brownish, yellowy gold color. See, it's going to give you different tones if you use that. And I always paint in the direction of the plant. So if I'm painting, if I'm painting cactus, I don't want to go across like this. I want to come down in the middle, and then I want to work my way out on the sides. So you're kind of making a curved motion. You can also add a little tiny bit of white to it if you want. That's going to add some different tones. Just play around with those colors when you're shading. Okay, so that's one part of it. And then I can come up here and make another little U shape up there. use some yellows. And that's another part of it. Kind of looks like a green snowman at the moment. But I can put another one on here, maybe over here. All right. And that's another type of cactus you can do. You can also do more of like a, I guess, like an aloe vera type plant. So the way you do that is just come in here and make this almond shape. Okay. And then I'll start working my way out, like fanning it out. So it's kind of like clockwork almost. If you've painted flowers with me before, like real flowers, daisies, sunflowers, you know what I mean. So basically this is your 12 o'clock. And then you have your 10 and 11, 1 and 2. And I will put more detail in this so you can see. I'm just using that almond shape to paint all of these different pieces of it. Now I've got the base layer of it on. And this is pretty big. Normally I wouldn't paint it that big. But then I'm going to go back over it and I'm going to put this guy in make him a little bigger. Put it in the front there. So I'm not going to have them actually cross each other. They're going to be next to each other. See that? Trying to think what else. If you want to do like little sagey type plants for ground cover, you're just gonna take a dark brown, that raw sienna, and some green. And I just come in here, and it's kind of like the same thing we did for this guy here, except it's thin lines and a little bit of pressure. And I just pull up and work my way fanning out like that. Then I can go back and add more paint. I don't want too much in the beginning, or else you can end up with a big old blob. This way. And that's like a type of sagey plant, or even can be turned into tumbleweed. Different things you can do with it. It's just something to create some ground cover, like some grasses and stuff. Let's see. Some cacti have little flowers on top of them. So you can either use this end of the brush, depending on the size of your cactus, or this end of the brush, which you can tell I use a lot. And you can take a little bit of red and a little bit of white. Just go on here and just, I'm trying to see how to do this so you all can see it. I just go in here and I can, oops, gotta get a good bit on there. See that? Give it a little, just kind of dotting in a little flower there. If you want a bigger flower, you can use this end of the brush, some red and some white. And just kind of fan out a flower here. It's kind of the same type of fan we did over here. You can just kind of make a flower like that. So for detail, I've used this small brush for the entire thing. I haven't changed it at all. So we can get some of your white. And a little bit of raw sienna. So that's raw sienna right there. You can tell my palette's really messy. And I just take that and I work in the same direction as my cactus goes. So very lightly. And if it's too wet, give it a quick dry. I'm just pulling down some highlights. You can pull some up too. Okay. Same thing for this one. Went a little bit too dark on that. But see, it's okay because I can just blend it in. There's a lot of brown and yellow in cactus. So if you kind of get too much of that sienna on there, you can just take a little bit more green. Come back in, blend it in, and it'll darken it up just for some darker tones. So even if you feel like you messed it up, you didn't. And then I can come in here, make some lines. Same with this guy here. Just some brown and white. Now you want to make sure you're working along the same direction. So I just come in here, and I'm still using my pinky for leverage. So I'll come in, and if you're lefty, start on the other side of your canvas. And I'm very lightly bringing highlights in there. See that? Now, I work better on an easel, believe it or not. I didn't used to, but I do work better drawing, painting a line this way. Like that instead of vertical. Oh shoot. These were my only pair of jeans without paint on them. Not anymore. Don't worry about it being super straight, okay? it's nature. Nothing is straight in nature. You know, it's all gonna look good when you're done, I promise. Now, when you paint these, and I'll show you when I painted earlier, you don't always have to do a scene where you think a cactus should be. So, I have one that I was gonna do with you, then I decided, no, I want to see what everybody else can do. So, I have a lake in my painting. I think I'm calling it When Worlds Collide. It's a desert and a lake, which you don't really see water too much in the desert, but hey, it's my painting. I can do what I want, right? So if some lines are a little bit too strong, just take some green and pull it back in. Okay. For this guy here, just a little bit of white. And I'm coming in and just highlighting it a little. If I want to darken up some areas, I just bring green back in. So you see I have some green and some white. Down here is where you'll want it a little darker because it's the base of it. So you see I'm just getting those highlights on there. Same thing on the other side. You can work on those different ways. You don't have to follow any specific way of doing it. It's what works best for you. Okay. So basically, I want you to use your imagination. Make it a sunset. If it's a sunset, are your cactus going to be visible with all the shading? Probably not. They're probably going to be in a silhouette form. Don't take the easy way out, though. You know, if you want to do a sunset, that's fine. But challenge yourself a little, too, with the details. So this is what I did. Just to give you an idea, I did the sky and the clouds like we did the clouds last week. I just used raw sienna. I used white. I used a tiny bit of black to get some gray in there, and I sponged in little bits of cloud in there. And I used that dry brush technique. For the mountains, I used a palette knife for the shading. I think we did that on the Emerald Isle painting last week. And then I just did some rocks in here with some sagebrush. and cactus. So just have fun with it. Make your own painting, and I want to see pictures when you're done of what you did. That'd be awesome. And let me know if you have any questions. I am more than happy to help you. Can't wait to see what you guys do. Thanks.